Hey guys, Samurai here, back again with another video, and today I'm here to talk about characters. Now, Ash has had many companions over the years, and a couple of those standout companions are May, Dawn, and Serena. They have main character game counterparts. Now, these main character game counterparts are pretty popular among the community, but I've been wondering, where are the male avatars? While we have seen their adaptations like Jimmy, that's the only one we've really seen in the anime. While we had Easter eggs here and there like Lucas and Brendan in the movies, we haven't really seen them getting full-fledged roles. So I decided to take upon myself to give one of them a full-fledged role in the anime. This character being Ash's game counterpart, Red. Now Red is very popular. He even has a couple of anime debuts, whether it be Origins or some other supplementary material. Now, I've always wondered, how come Red wasn't ever put into the anime? While you could count Richie as another Red clone, it's not really the same. So I wondered, how about if you put Red into the OS saga and put him throughout the whole duration of the anime? While he wouldn't be in every part of the anime, this would likely be a multi-part series where I go over his role in each series that I decide to put him into. Hopefully he doesn't intrude too much on the series I decide to put him in, and hopefully you guys can enjoy this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and share for our part 2, and it might happen in the near future. Anyways, let's get started with what if Red was in the Pokemon anime. So how will Red start his journey? Well, Red will start his journey very similar to Ash, but let's say Ash woke up on time, and that's Red's story. He's also from Pallet Town, and is incredibly excited to start his Pokemon journey, aiming to be a Pokemon League champion, or the Pokemon champion, as you will say. Now, Red decides to choose his first starter as Bulbasaur. While this could also be seen as an alternate manga on my end, I decided to give him a Bulbasaur because Ash ended up with a fully evolved Charizard and Gary ended up with a Blastoise, so it only makes sense that he ended up with a Bulbasaur, as Venusaur is the one of the Kanto trios that we didn't see fully evolved yet, so I figured it would be a good fit. So let's go over Red's team before he meets Ash. Now, when Red meets Ash, his team is already fully evolved. So let's go over his team, why don't we? Red's team is as follows. He has a Venusaur, which is his starter, a Raichu, Golem, Golduck, Fearow, Ninetales, Persian, and a Haunter. This is a pretty solid set of mons if I do say so myself. I decided to give him these Pokemon because it's what all of the main trio had. Raichu and Venusaur for Ash's Bulbasaur and Pikachu at the time, Golem and Golduck for Brock's Geodude and Misty Psyduck, Fearow because you can't give him the same flying type as Ash, Ninetales because of Brock's Vulpix, Persian because of Team Rocket, and Haunter because a lot of people wanted Ash to catch a Haunter, and let's say he caught a Haunter because a lot of people think Red is better than Ash, so it's meta. Now, Red meets Ash after he gets a Charmeleon. Now, Charmeleon's still not listening to Ash, but they are just sitting down for some lunch that Brock made at the time, and Red, not knowing how to cook, smells food and gets pretty hungry. I can see a comedic scene where he walks into the camp and he sees his stomach growling, and they offer him some food. Ash asks Red naturally, is he a Pokemon trainer? And Red would probably exclaim, yeah, he has almost all his badges. So would Ash. They would both grow pretty cocky as this is their first run, but Red said that he's heard of a challenger who got his first 2 gym badges out of pity. And while Ash would get pretty embarrassed, Red would just be oblivious and couldn't tell who was Ash at the time. However, I could see the two leading into a friendly battle. Now, I could see Ash leading off with Squirtle, and I could see Red leading off with his Persian. Now, Ash and Co have never seen a Persian before, well at least Ash hasn't, and Ash clearly uses his Pokedex, and while Meowth and Team Rocket are spying on our heroes at this case, Meowth does get mad to see that this trainer has a Persian, and wants to destroy this trainer and capture all his other Pokemon, other than Persian, to give to the boss. But anyways, their battle continues with a 3-on-3 battle, and Persian knocks out Squirtle, but Ash fires back with Pikachu. Pikachu is able to knock out Persian, but Red fires back with Golem. Ash returns Pikachu and decides to send out Bulbasaur. Now Bulbasaur ends up beating Golem. However, Red sends out his Raichu and it easily knocks out Bulbasaur. Ash sends out his Pikachu again, still cocky over his win against Surge, and thinks that if they beat the Raichu the first time, they'll be able to beat it the second time. But this isn't Surge's Raichu. This Raichu has speed attacks, and it quickly outspeeds Ash's Pikachu with moves like Double Team, Dig, and Thunderbolt. This ends up knocking Ash's Pikachu, and he says that he had a fun battle, and Ash also agrees it was a fun battle. Red says that Ash is pretty skilled and that he hopes to meet him in the Indigo Plateau. Red said he's on his way to Cinnabar Island to get his 7th gym badge. Ash says he's on his way there too because he just got his 6th gym badge. So they both promise to meet each other at the Indigo Plateau to have one final battle. Now, as you know, in the anime, they took a break before the Indigo Plateau, where they spent time in Pallet Town, and I could see Red going to Pallet Town. Red would be surprised that Ash is from Pallet Town too, because they never introduced where they were from. But Red would immediately recognize Ash as the kid who was late to pick up his first Pokemon, and subsequently laugh, but he says that he's excited to train alongside Ash to improve their skills. Ash feels mutual towards this, and they start training the entire time. Due to training with another trainer who isn't Gary, Ash ends up going into the league being much stronger and much more skilled. Kingler even evolves early in this version due to Ash using Krabby more often. Anyways, I think we can skip to the league as nothing else eventful really happens. So the opening ceremony of the league happens, and Ash's matches go the same as they do in canon. However, Gary loses not to the trainer he lost to before, he loses to Red. Yes, Gary does lose to Red. Gary's Nidorino loses to Red's Haunter, and Haunter just absolutely wailed on Nidorino, and it showed Gary just how inexperienced he is. However, Ash, when seeing how good Red is, Ash gets a bit intimidated, thinking that Red said they would want to battle, and he gets kind of intimidated by Red's strength. This would lead to the same result that happened in the original canon, where Ash has to talk to Brock, and Brock and Pikachu help re-encourage him, and they continue going to the league. Ash wins his final match on the ice field, and right before the pairings happen, Team Rocket decides to steal everyone's Pokemon. Yes, I'm including this filler episode because I think it'd be a nice bonding moment for Red and Ash. Red and Ash clearly try to stop it, and they do make it out with the Pokemon in the bags. However, it's the same as canon where they do camp out in the woods, and Red is very bad at cooking, so they have some cup noodles instead, and they do make it back safely. However, on their way to go see their matchup for their next match in the Indigo Plateau, finally Ash has reached his goal for the series. He gets paired up with Red. Now Red is very excited for this battle, and so is Ash. In fact, Ash spends the rest of the day training, so does Red, but they do it separately this time rather than together. So a bit later throughout the day, the battle does start. The Team Rocket filler episode that caused Ash to be late for his last match doesn't happen in this version. They actually have a full, clean 3-on-3 battle. Now this 3-on-3 battle is the toughest Ash has had to face up to this point, considering how strong Red is. But since none of Ash's Pokemon are exhausted, Ash goes into this match with Pikachu, Pidgeotto, and Bulbasaur. Red goes into this match with Fearow, Venusaur, and Raichu. This is truly a mismatch for Ash. Now first, this is Bulbasaur, and while Bulbasaur is making good work of his Raichu, Raichu's just too speedy, but Red decides to return it for her stronger and more bulkier Venusaur. However, Bulbasaur does try his best, and in a Solar Beam collision, they end up tying. Red commends Ash's Bulbasaur, but he can have no time for that and sends out his Fearow. Fearow and Pidgeotto have a bout, and Pidgeotto does lose, but it gave a hell of a fight. Ash sends out Pikachu, who immediately knocks out Fearow. Red sends out his Raichu, and Raichu just wails on Pikachu, absolutely destroying it. As Pikachu has gotten stronger, so has Raichu, and Raichu has only gotten faster. Raichu is outspeeding Pikachu in every turn and every way, and Pikachu ends up losing pretty badly. Ash ends up losing this championship battle on going to the next round. However, the same as canon, Red doesn't become the Indigo League champion. He actually loses the round after he faced Ash, showing just how tough the Indigo League champion is. And in the same vein, Professor Oak still gives Ash a good talking to, saying that he needs to grow stronger, and that he got through this league with luck and instinct, and Red got through this with his intuition, but there's always going to be someone stronger than you. An important lesson for both Red and Ash to learn. While Ash is in the Orange Islands, Red is training in Palatown, and he's doing some pretty extreme training if I say so myself. Now, when Ash comes back from the Orange Islands, he does challenge both Red and Gary, and it's a Pikachu v Raiju clash. However, Pikachu still loses, but Red still says that Pikachu has gotten much stronger, but so has they, and Ash is going to have to come at them a lot harder if he hopes to get a victory against them one day. However, Ash is excited to go to Johto along with Gary, and Red also here with the new Johto region and the Silver League Conference is also excited to partake in this new tournament and hopes to win it and take home the trophy. So he decides to leave home also and to head to the Johto region. Now, I'm only going to cover the Johto region in part 2. That will be its own part, because the Johto region is a whole other region with whole other interactions, and he might catch some new Pokemon there as well. Let me know what you would change in this. Let me know what you would add to this. Let me know what you think Red's end goal should be. Do you think he should be a Pokemon League champion, or do you think that he could be something else? Well, I have a plan for Red by the end of AG. I want to see what you guys have instead. Let me know what you guys think. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. And I will be seeing you guys later. Samurai out.